Hello, and welcome to the first and probably only ever episode of Hobby Talk with Den Don Dennis. So, it's a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. Both are bounty cards. Like many of you, I joined in on the Olympic $500,000 bounty card, extravaganza. And I, like probably all of you, didn't pull the card. um, I had ordered 5 of those cards and got 4 regular, just base ones, and then I got one of them that was slightly more rare with a white logo of Tops. It had 3 signatures on there. No, I'm just fucking with you. No, I got just a white border Tops thing, or not white border, but the inside of it was white. The lettering of Tops was in white or some shit like that. So that was essentially my big pull from that. But my question is, where the hell is that card? I mean, I can understand if somebody wants to be anonymous, but Tops knows that that card was put out there. They most likely know where it's at. And even if they don't, why wouldn't the person who, you know, pulled the card at least let Tops know, like, hey, I pulled the card? I mean, it would only make sense if they started holding on to other packages, maybe, that they would, say, hey, I don't want to be known at all, and I'm going to buy up other, unopened, you know, packages of those and then sell those off at greater amounts. But even then, that would take a lot of time and money. Um, and honestly, I don't know how likely it would be that any person is still buying those. Well, why would you buy it? Grand Slam Collectibles took their offer off the table, and Jeff Wilson has an offer. I mean, I guess maybe his offer's off the table too. I have no idea. His offer might still be good. I don't know. But at this point, why would you not? Why would you be buying it? Like, there's less and less of them, so in theory, that drives the price up. But that means that many more people are out of buying it, too. So maybe it just stays at like the 5K mark. But even then, why would you trust anybody now with that card being, essentially only worth the auctionable price? I mean, yeah, you could take it to Golden and, maybe Ken Golden's holding it for some big special event or something. I don't know. But it just seems weird, seems odd that that card has never, ever been pulled. But where is that card? Where is it? Now, I'm probably going to record this, and then obviously, guess what's going to happen? Somebody's going to be like, "Oh, dude, somebody pulled it. You were just too stupid to know it." So, I mean, that could legitimately happen. Don't worry. I understand that could be the case. I only keep up with as much as I can, which isn't as much as what I used to. So, there's a catch 22 there. But anyway, that card not pulled. Weird to me. And then here's the other weird hobby news to me, which is a more of a new recent one. As of this recording, which is in September of 2024, or not September, geez, November of 2024. I think it's November 18th. I'm keeping my days straight. Anyway, not much faith in that, considering I just thought it was September. So anyway, the other bounty is the Pittsburgh Pirates, offering this 30 years behind home plate of season tickets for somebody and a fan experience, and David Adams that offered a $10,000 gift certificate to our store credit or something like that as well for the Paul Skeens 1 of 1 MLB debut patch. And no offense to the Pittsburgh Pirates, I know that the offer seems cool, but it seems very unrealistic that anybody was going to want to cash in on that. And here's why. One, the taxes. Essentially, it's estimated at around like $2 million, this 30 years of season tickets behind home plate. if you have to pay that all at once, you have to be very independently wealthy to be able to pay on that. So that takes most of us out of it, myself very, very much included. But not only that, who the hell wants to move to Pittsburgh for the next 30 years? I mean, you have to legitimately be a fan of the Pirates and be willing to move to Pittsburgh and relocate, not only for 1 year. You have to be willing to relocate for 30 years of your life, which is for a lot of us going to be like half of our lives. I don't think that sounds even doable. And then not only that, you've got 30 years of season tickets to have. Oh, that sounds rough. Rough. So, I don't really think the offer is actually legitimate. I think it's just their way of saying, like, hey, we're trying to do the right thing for our player, but we know the likelihood of anybody actually cashing this in is very low. If they wanted to actually make an offer, like a legit offer, why not offer $1 million? Why not offer something that would be valuable to any collector, not just a person that lives in Pittsburgh? Because it's not like that card is guaranteed to show up to a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, not unless Topps has somehow rigged it to where a Pirates fan will guaranteeingly pull the card, which would mean they probably are selling it to an LCS in Pittsburgh or around Pittsburgh. So if that happens, then yeah, we could all be like, oh, well, clearly Topps rigged this. If it gets pulled by a big breaker, which is more than likely, that is probably less chance of it being rigged. But as far as that offer goes, I think it's illegitimate. I don't think it's a legit offer. I think the best chance of anybody like pulling it and it being known that it's pulled is probably when someone goes to sell it to or goes to like sell it off through a place like Golden. Yeah, I just don't think that it's a legitimate ever or legitimate offer. It just seems so weird. Also, the best part of that offer, in my point of view, would be the $10,000 break credit that you'd get or store credit from David Adams. I mean, again, I'm not moving to Pittsburgh. I don't want to pay the taxes on a $2.1 million, windfall. I'd rather pay the taxes, like, especially with no way to do it. Like, you're great. You've got 30 years of season tickets. Yeah, what do I do now? Like, okay, pay on, you'd be essentially screwed. I mean, I'm not going to go to prison over a Paul Skeens, 1-of-1 debut patch. It's just not happening. And people saying like, oh, well, Dennis, you could sell the tickets. There's probably a catch in that. It's probably rigged so you can't sell those 30 years of season tickets. And even if you could sell the 30 years of season tickets, that takes so much time and effort. You're going to have to legitimately sell every single home game behind home plate for full value and then pay the taxes on not only having to have received the tickets at whatever the Pirates deem it at, but then you'd have to sell the tickets for that price, plus you'd be paying taxes on the amount that you sold it for. So again, that makes no sense. None. The person who pulls that card should not actually go to the Pirates unless the Pirates want to make a legitimate offer of, I don't know, like $1 million. Why is $1 million fair? Well, we saw that with the Connor Bedard Outburst Gold. That was the offer from David Adams for that Connor Bedard card, which never has been hit either. That's a whole different topic, but I don't really know jack about hockey, so I'm not going to speculate on it. I mean, it's upper deck cards, so who knows? I don't know. Upper deck cards, just, it's not really worth buying it because selling it is not worth it, in my opinion. As far as I've experienced in trying to sell some hockey cards, which I haven't tried to sell many. I'm sure there are cards that are worth a ton, but it just seems like the value is just not there for me. So even, I would have to like knowingly buy a hobby box knowing that it's gonna get that Bedard card. But anyway, enough about hockey. I'm not a hockey person. So, but the Connor Bedard, or not Connor Bedard, the Pirates offer for Skeens debut patch, not legitimate. This is my opinion, but not legitimate. I don't know if anybody's watching this. What are you gonna do with the Skeens card if you pull it? I mean, I know for me, I'd at least talk to the Pirates and say, hey, do you actually want this card? Then I'll sell it to you. Make a legitimate bounty offer. We can sell it at an undisclosed price. $1 million. Or we can, come up with something. But the weird offer that they put out, and I mean, even, yeah, that whole offer just seems so stupid. Like, I'm going to go with 30 friends? Hell, I don't have 30 friends to go and play batting practice with, at the ballpark. Like, and why would I want to do that as a 40-year-old? I'm 33, but like, if you're a dude in your 40s, like, are you really going to get 30 friends to go out and play at the Pittsburgh Pirates? Like, again, no, you're not. I'm sorry. They would have been better off offering you like like a one-of-one experience where you get to go watch the Pittsburgh Pirates, do batting practice while you get to eat beer or eat wings and drink beer. That would have been a more legitimate, like, oh, that sounds right. I'm sure they couldn't tie alcohol to it because, theoretically sports cards are for kids. So, of course not. But that would have been a better offer. Yeah. So anyway, that was my two topics of different bounty cards that I wanted to talk about, with a side escalation into that, Connor Bedard card, which is probably never going to be found either. Hopefully the debut patch actually does get found. It's kind of disappointing when you hear all these bounties and then they like either get pulled day one or they get pulled like a couple of months in, or not. No, as long as they get pulled, that's what matters. I don't care if they get pulled, 2 months in. What I care about is that they get pulled. If we're putting out bounties for cards, hopefully they get hit. I don't like it when, like, especially the Olympic card where it's like such a limited release. Like, where is it? But then you have this Skeens debut patch, which, that could go on for years in theory, just because, breakers only break so much and they move on to the next product that's new. We're not going to sit there and be ripping that forever. Not as like, not people that are breaking the product, and then as you as the individual consumer, like myself, like I'm not going to sit there and buy hobby box after hobby box or jumbo after jumbo or breaker after breakers delight. Not happening. So I hope the Skeens patch gets pulled. If it's by an LCS in Pittsburgh, I'm going to go, Topps, you didn't know where that was going, really? Because, again, that's the only people who could pull that card and make it work. As long as they're, independently wealthy as well. So, hopefully Andrew McCutchen pulls it, or, maybe some other Pittsburgh Pirate player pulls it, or, some Pittsburgh Steeler or some exec of some, team up there pulls it. But, yeah, if not a good trade, or not going to happen. But anyway, that's my spiel for today. Thank you if you watched this. If you didn't watch this, but somehow are viewing this, go on to YouTube and watch it. Give me the views. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Do all the other shit everybody asks you to do. Bow to me. Pray for me if that's what you're into. Build a statue, worship me. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for the bare minimum. Worship me. No, I'm fucking around here. But thanks for listening to me. I appreciate your time.